So I'm going to show you how to save money on camp fuel. So what I was going to show you how to do is how you can get cheap fuel for your camp stoves. Some people are spending like $7 to $12 on those 100-gram canisters camp stoves to save weight. But I'm just like wondering, why would you do that? When you go to Walmart and pick up one of these are 440 grams canisters for $5 to $7, which is obviously a lot more price efficient. But I was going to show you how to transfer the isobutane or propane mix, isopropane mix, into your smaller canisters. So obviously you're going to need your camp stove, a fuel can that's full, and an empty fuel can. And I also wanted to show you how you can get the butane out of these butane canisters. This one is 250 grams for like $1 or $2 into these fuel cans. What you'll need is a few pieces of machine material here, machine metals, but I should put them on the screen here. This one is for transferring from one of those camp stove canisters to another. And this one, you can get these off eBay and Amazon, is for putting the butane into one of those camp stove canisters. And so what's neat about these is all they really are is either isobutane, which is like a butane variant, and propane or a butane-propane mix. Isobutane and butane are very similar in composition, so you shouldn't see much difference. But in these cheaper ones, it's just butane and propane, just regular butane. But most people won't even notice the difference. I don't notice the difference. And the reason why they put propane in it is because propane condenses at a lower temperature than butane, and so that's why they call it the performance, is that it will work even higher elevation and colder temperatures. Because what's happening is you're just burning the propane while the butane is condensed, and so when it stops working, all that's left is the butane that's condensed. To put in it. And what else you need? You're also going to need a kitchen scale. To summarize, you need a kitchen scale. There's two pieces of machine metals, an empty canister, a fuel canister, and a butane canister. And I'll show you different ways to do this. Oh, you're also going to need a freezer. So this is an empty canister. This is the Brunton brand. So it's 116 grams empty. And so they also tell you how much goes in there. So sometimes they say net weight, and that means you have to add the empty canister to the how much you're putting in there. So this is 116 and 113 goes in. I like to go under just to be safe, and so I'm going to shoot for around 200 grams. So what you need to do is put your empty canister in the freezer for 5 to 10 minutes. And so we wait for 5 to 10 minutes, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our full canister. Let's weigh this just to show you, because Walmart likes to overpack these canisters. I already filled a canister with this before, and this says it's only supposed to be net weight like 500, net quantity 440, and it was at like 600 before. So even if you do overfill it, these canisters usually can withstand it a little bit. So yeah, this is still full, more than it says it should weigh. 440 is 522, and I already took 100 grams out of it before. And this butane, I just bought this one. It says 250 grams. So both methods, either you're going to put the butane in it, or if you're going to put this in it, you have to put them in the freezer, the empty one in the freezer, the one you're trying to fill in the freezer. And what that does is it condenses the so when you put fluids or gases into something and you want to condense into a fluid, which makes it less pressurized, you lower the temperature, and so when it's colder, it has less pressure, and so that encourages the higher pressure material to go into the lower pressure canister. So the high pressurized full canister is going to push the contents into the lower pressure, into the equalized. So if they're both at the same temperature, they're going to be equalized sooner, and you're not going to get enough gas in there. So that's why you want the empty one to be in the freezer for a few minutes. Also, before you start, I want to mention that you want to be in a ventilated area. So you can see that I'm pretty sure this is plenty ventilated up. Alright, so it's officially been about 5-6 minutes now. So I'm going to pull these out of the freezer. Ooh, that's cold. Yeah, boy. That's what we want. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to start with the with transferring from one canister to another canister. Go ahead and put your adapter, converter, thingy-majig on one end, the other on the other end. This is just dirty because this is the one I just took out to East Fork and it's still a little muddy. East Fork has a lot of mud. Right. So they're both on there, and this one has a valve on it, but they don't always have these valves. So you can hear it going from this one towards the more condensed container because it's colder. And so after about a few seconds, I'm going to turn it off and weigh it once it starts slowing down a little bit. Alright, let's see what that one's like. Alright. Gotta love the smell of the camp fuel. Let's see what it says. Oop, nope, we don't want to tar it like that. Let's see here. Yep, that's good. So this one's full, ready to go again. And for proof of concept, I'm gonna go ahead and put that stove back on it. I mean, if it does start leaking, all it's going to do is slow leak until it's empty. It's not going to explode unless there's a freaking open flame next to it, which hopefully you're not keeping these next to open flames. Show you that it works the same way. See? No problem. And so now I have another full canister without spending another $12, $10 to $12 on a 100 gram canister. For this other canister, I was going to show you how to put the butane, just pure butane, into it. Now butane, it doesn't really have a butane condenses at a higher temperature than freezing, than propane. So if you're going to try to go in the winter, I would not recommend doing this. This is probably only good for upper 30s weather, Fahrenheit that is. So all you gotta do is stick this little node on there, and this is still cold from the freezer. And you take your butane, just like a butane lighter. How you fill up a butane lighter? It's the same kind of concept. You just get good contact. And you can hear it transferring into the canister. And so since these ones, and the butane is much cheaper than the isobutane or the butane propane mixes, or isopro mixes. So let's see how much that weighs. So we still got quite a ways to go. You can see I went ahead and put both O-rings on there to get a better seal. There's 2 O-rings on there. So let's continue on. I might have to go back in the freezer since it warmed up. So if you want to be most cost efficient, you would just use butane. So a little more to go. Oops, see, that's what happens. You don't get a good seal. Since it's condensed, it's also very cold. So you want to make sure you're lined up before you press down, because I mean, it won't hurt you or anything. It just, you don't have any open flames nearby. Let's do a little bit more. Alright, yep, that's about 200. So now we got 2 fuel canisters. You might want to label them. I'm going to go ahead and label them, so you know which one's which, so you don't use the butane one in cold weather. So I'm going to just put a B for butane on this one. And now to show you proof of concept once more, that this is, I mean, those camp stoves all use these butane canisters just inside the stove. So you can see it doesn't look much different, right? Alrighty folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike, tell me why so I know what I could have done differently. So it's pretty simple. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you didn't, sorry, I'll do better next time. But hopefully that showed you how it's not too dangerous, not too hard, it's pretty easy.